The game is fun, and I've really been enjoying my time in all of EverQuest Legends. I don't want to give the wrong impression, because what I'm about to say is likely going to be seen as pretty critical. This isn't about them having the microtransactions, as much as it's about the way that they've communicated them, or maybe more importantly, the lack of communication that's existed. Again, the game is fun, however, fun and honesty really aren't the same thing. And omission isn't being honest. There will be cosmetic and utility items offered for sale in-game which do not convey power to items or characters. In the same video, Secrets said this.
You'll also get 2 loadouts to start out.
Followed by Dave saying this.
The last question is, how many characters can we have in total? And if you don't mind, I'll take the first shot and then I'll throw it over to the team.
Yep.
So because it's something that people sort of have an initial reaction to, but I think we need to explain sort of how it's actually going to work. So you will only have 1 character, but you will have unlimited loadouts.
The reality is we were never told what we were playing was going to be taken away. No one ever pointed out during those videos that, hey players, this might not be what you should expect, or this is what you should expect, despite them saying both that there would be 2 loadouts or that there would be unlimited loadouts. Neither one of those statements made me think, I'm probably going to be charged for this later. I was fully expecting for more options and more opportunity to buy additional slots beyond what we were experiencing, and I was absolutely ready to do so. But then people pre-ordered, they bought the game under the impression that they were getting what they had seen, and then when they logged into the pre-order beta, only to realize that this was now their reality. They had nearly halved all of the inventory slots and reduced all of the loadouts from 16 down to 2. And then there's the Dragon Horde, which was reduced to below the sub-tier live EverQuest amount, which is kind of weird considering there is a box price and there is a sub price. Does the EverQuest Legends value the Dragon Horde higher than live EverQuest? And if so, where is that being communicated? Why aren't we being talked to about this? The core system of progression in the game requires that you have inventory space because you have to collect an insane amount of items in order to unlock classes. And you don't get to target farm these. You will wind up completely consuming all of your inventory space just merely trying to unlock a single class. We were also told that there was a single character slot being a technical limitation. And frankly, I have reason to believe that that might not have been true either. And unfortunately, due to the lack of communication, we're starting to get into the place where more speculation is going to happen. So we're starting to notice some patterns in the communication, or lack thereof. Frankly, things like the zone modifier of XP being nerfed, being outlined as a slight nerf, and we found that it was between 15 and 25% depending on the zone that you were going to. Frankly, it's not about the XP. If you have to slow the game down, you have to slow the game down. But selling it as a slight nerf and taking away a quarter of the experience you would get, and then outlining that you did it because people should be playing out in the zones, the open world zones, feels bad. The melee nerf being outlined as a way to make casters feel better is yet another reason for us to say, okay, I thought you said that you were going to bring other classes up, not nerf classes that feel good down. In what world does ruining one group of people who are having fun make the situation better? I just don't understand it. Then you have the Plane of Sky quests being difficult, being randomized, being changed repeatedly. The racial unlock faction system still not having certain systems even in the game, I struggle a bit. Individually, any one of these could be seen as just a simple design decision, but collectively, it's a pattern. Dungeon stamina charges being granted at character creation during closed beta, but then not in open beta, and no communication of this whatsoever. The issue isn't the systems themselves. It's the communication around those systems. So having a unique opportunity to reach out to some of the people involved and see if we can't get an official answer, I reached out to Secrets, and this is what they said. After going over this, I then reached out to David Youssefi, and this is what he said. Yeah, he didn't actually respond, but we had to try. Later on, they had the insights, and, well, that didn't go particularly well either.
There's questions about the shop. Yes, there will be an in-game shop, as we've always said. There will be cosmetic items. There will be convenience items in the shop. In terms of the things, the differences between the closed beta and the open beta, those things are either in the shop and or they are achievements. And so now that you can't see it yet, but now that there is in the background a shop in the game, and again, not accessible yet, but and there's also the implementation of achievements. Yes, these things that have changed are tied to one or both. In terms of what will be, what we will have in the game tied to achievements versus what is also purchasable in the shop, that is being finalized now. We will share it. I and the team, we understand not everyone wants an in-game shop, but this is the monetization model that we settled on a long time ago, and it is the model that we need to move forward with because, this is where we're at. And I still think it's the right model. I still think it's the right balance. We're not going to please everybody, but I hope that everyone will understand that we have to make sure the game is balanced and fun, but it also has to have some sort of monetization aspect to it.
So there you have it. Now we know what they had removed is going into the shop. And while it's also being added to the achievement system, I think that it's a little disingenuous to say that they didn't promise or provide us with an idea that we would receive one thing, sold us a pre-order, and then delivered another thing. That's what feels bad. We knew that there would be monetization, and despite his explanation of, yes, there's got to be a store, we need to make money, people don't have a problem with the store, and people don't have a problem with buying things. However, when you don't tell them that there are systems that people are interacting with every day while they're watching people play your game, and people who are in the closed beta playing that aren't aware that these systems are in there and exist in this way, it feels bad. So some of those things will be removed and available through achievement. Some of those things will be removed and they'll be available through the store. There's no clarity, no transparency, and frankly, despite people begging in chat, they wouldn't clarify any further. All we got is we'll share it without a timeline, without any type of other explanation. They accepted people's pre-order, but they didn't tell them what they were going to get or what they weren't going to get. And again, the game is fun. The game is entertaining. We're willing to accept a microtransaction shop. We're even willing to purchase things from it. However, we're asking for upfront information about what we're getting versus what we're not getting, and we'd like to know before we invest ourselves in it. It's important for me, for you, to know that I'm not saying don't buy it, don't purchase it, or go and refund it. I'm simply saying tell us what's coming before we invest in it, not after. If tomorrow they lay everything out and tell us what to expect rather than giving us this sort of continued silence or continued obfuscation of what's actually happening and claiming that they're not at liberty to talk about it, he's the vice president of Daybreak Games. I'm not quite sure who stands farther above him other than the president, and if the president of the company is telling him what is or what isn't, then what's really going on here? I don't think as the vice president of a company, you get to say we're being told or this is being decided above us. Maybe there's some type of mechanism that I'm missing here, but I'm at a loss. There's no clarity. There's no transparency. And again, if they change things tomorrow, I'd happily get right back here and tell everyone and stand up and say, awesome, look at these guys. They're doing great work. They're making a change. They're trying to do the thing that is going to be right for the players and be right for them. I understand it. So what are your thoughts? What are your feelings on this? Put something down in the comments. Let me know what you think. And, maybe you have a different perspective. Maybe you have the same perspective. Who knows? Let us know either way.
It also, has to have some sort of monetization, aspect to it. And so we're doing our best to make it fair and balanced.
We understand that building and maintaining a game isn't free. We just want to know what is included when we're purchasing something and not have things be removed after we've spent our money. Take it easy, guys.